Good evening. Hi everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Karen and I am a spiritual medium, and I come on live twice a week to discuss my most recent blog in further detail, but also available to you to answer questions. So if you have questions about your own spirituality or experiences or spirit or my work, I'm here to answer that for you. So just as a reminder, I keep reminding every time I interact with everyone, I deleted my email list in error, which remarkably I'm okay with it. It's what 2020 is all about. And so if you have not been getting my newsletters, it's probably because you've got deleted. So if you could just resubscribe, you can do that through my website, karenstrumis.com, and just resubscribe through that. And at the end of the video, I'll post a link also for you to subscribe to. So, which I hope you do, because I will be offering a discounted tarot reading. Just don't tell anybody to subscribe first, so you can look forward to seeing that. So before we get started, hi, who's with me? Hi, Jess. How are you? Hi, Ashley. Thank you for joining me, beautiful souls. Lovely. So I'm always curious, and it's always exciting for me. So if you're from outside the Newmarket area, my area, if you just comment where you're watching from, and if you wouldn't mind just sharing that you're watching the video, it just pulls in more people. My passion is sharing information and sharing stories. So we're going to talk about my last blog, but I do have, You Can't Make This Shit Up For You, which I probably should have done in a separate video, but I've just been insane this week, busy. So I had a gentleman, I did a group reading in my office, which we do once a month. So you can find that event on my page. So we're sold out, I think, till March is the first opening, if you're interested. But anyway, so this gentleman came, and his intention coming that night was to connect with his parents, and bless them, both of them came through loud and clear, and brought this man such joy and healing. And I was just sort of finishing up with them. And for anybody that's been to a group with me, we call them the medium hogs. There's always one or two people that they seem to get more than others. And he definitely, I think he was like the first person I hit. And we talked for quite some time. But anyways, just as I was sort of transitioning over to go to the next person, his parents stopped me, and I got my symbol, so to speak, for that. Him coming that night, he said to them, if it's really you, say this and this. And I said to him, is that true? And he confirmed that. So I connected for a second. I said, so I'm supposed to talk about the dog? And he said, yes. And that was enough for him right there. And I said, so is the dog's name Rusty? And the dog he was thinking about was not Rusty, but he does have his childhood dog who is with his parents, whose name was Rusty. So I was so thrilled that he got not only all those, affirmations before that, but they were able to actually affirm that specific intention that he set with him that day. And it doesn't always happen. I mean, when I share these stories, it's like the best of the best. But what I do also want to share with you is the reason I connected with him and two other people in a group of 10 was because I was shown a belt buckle. And it wasn't just like a regular, it was like one of these truck driver, big funky belt buckles. So I asked who has a father, and he showed me his big belt buckle. And that actually resonated with 3 different people. So it just goes to show you that I've said spirits will sort of group together. They'll communicate one thing to me, and it's to get the attention or bring my attention to more than one person. And then we go back to each individual person to get more specific. So they band together, but this is why I also say if I share something with someone in a group or share something with you tonight and it means something to you, to trust that that is a sign. Because if you think it's a sign, it's a sign. So don't doubt that it's them communicating to you. So let's just do a couple of good evenings. Hi, Marilyn. Good evening. Thank you, Leslie. Jess. Hi, honey. How are you? From Alma Me. Yes, I remember. That's nice. You're still watching. Thank you. Mary and Susan and Sheila and Melissa. Hi, everybody. So, if you guys were, I'm just looking at the number of viewers, if you guys are still with me at the end, hi, Allison. Tonight, I have a giveaway. So, stick with me and you'll have an opportunity to win. Yeah? Cool. Okay, so let's talk about what do spirits feel like. So, I sent him a blog last week and we talked about those vibes that we pick up, and like we go into an old building and creepy place, and we get the heebie-jeebies. We pick up vibes of a room. We can go into a room where there's been some kind of disagreement or something not nice has happened, and we can pick up that vibe. Likewise, we pick up happy vibes. So energy changes, and when it changes, it sends a vibration out, and that's what we pick up on. So our spiritual body, if you will, as opposed to our physical body, connects with the unseen, and the physical body senses what's tangible. So we can connect with those that have passed without having any particular feeling. But what I wanted to talk to you about tonight was the actual physical sensations that our physical body can pick up on when we're in presence of spirit. So we're going to talk a little bit about those. Hi, Moni. Hi, Melissa. So, Melissa, strange things are happening. I'd be happy to give you some insight. Let me do my talk first. If I don't mention you, just comment again for me, okay? And we'll talk about it, but let me just get through this first. So some of the examples that I talked about were feeling warmth. So very often in ghost shows and ghost movies, we talk about that cold feeling. And without question, that happens. And that happens because spirit is using your physical energy to sort of manifest themselves. So it leaves us cold because we're losing energy. However, a spirit who is present has energy, and they're not limited to a physical body like us. So they can expand their vibration. They can expand their energy to get our attention, and that creates friction, which creates heat, which creates warmth. So when I'm working, I never feel that cold, eerie feeling that Ghostbusters and ghost hunters and all those guys talk about. I feel warmth when spirit's with me. In fact, interestingly enough, when I'm picking up anger, and it's anger of the person I'm working with, not spirit, because they can't be angry. But when they're trying to convey anger to me, my temperature goes up so high that I actually start to sweat and sometimes shake, and it's like, oh my God, it's like 100 degrees in here, and that's how I feel anger. So temperature for sure is one thing. So, but keep in mind, it can be hot or it can be cold. So don't feel like we're limited. So, hi Tara, hi Sue, hi Lisa, hi Melissa. You're welcome. Oh, hi Melissa. Yes, thanks. You're welcome. My pleasure. The other thing. So here's a big one that we so often disregard, and I can relate to this one, and I'll share my own experience. Hi Deborah. Is comfort. It's feeling comfort. So how often are you thinking of a loved one? And it's usually, it's a parent. We think about a parent because that's in most cases in who we felt comfort and warmth and love from. So all of a sudden, you don't realize that there's the presence of a person or spirit around you, other than all of a sudden you just feel comfort and it feels good. And we usually only pick up on things that feel uncomfortable and scary, and all of a sudden it's spirit or it's a ghost. But what if I suggested to you that they can also make us feel comfort and feel love? And I know I've mentioned this to you, a few times, that when my dad first passed away, the first couple of weeks, I felt comfort. I'm actually going to go as far as saying I felt loved. I felt so loved that it almost healed everything that happened while he was here. So just because it feels good doesn't mean it's not a deceased loved one. So if for no reason, just you're thinking of mom, you're thinking of dad, whoever, and all of a sudden this really warm, comfortable, safe, loving feeling comes over you, that's them. Don't second guess that for a second. It might feel like a hug. You might feel like your hair's being brushed. You might remember what it was like to hold their hand or feel their touch, and all of a sudden you get this warm feeling. Know that that's them. Yeah? Good. So, what else? Some examples from my blog were that feeling of not being alone. And I know that's a big one because it's like, you feel you do this, and for a split second you see sort of a shadow, or you think you see a shadow, and you turn, there's no one there. But I'll tell you, that spirit, when you see that grayness, that shadow, know that that's spirit. What else do we have? We can walk into a space, and I call this sort of the thickness. Just a second here, guys. I gotta just adjust something here. I lost my notes, and I always keep notes because if I don't, I forget to tell you stuff, and then I'm like pissed with myself, and I should have told you this. So, denseness, it's that thick, heavy feeling, and I know people have experienced that, because when people feel that, that's when I get the phone calls, the Facebook messages, the emails. There's something bad in my house, because it feels heavy and dense. And it's not anything bad. It's just how we are perceiving, picking up that vibration. So it's almost like, this big, heavy blanket's been dropped on you, and you're sort of carrying this excess weight. And that's just the drop. That's just the change in the physical vibration of the room. Doesn't mean anything. Now, denseness, though, I do want to qualify by saying sometimes this can also be sort of what we call residue energy, so remnant energy of a previous event, emotional event. So, for example, if someone passes suddenly or there's trauma, part of our energy can kind of break off, and it just replays and replays and replays. And it doesn't have to be done. There's just so many variables, but we're going to stick with that one for conversation purposes. Yeah. So if you hear someone walking down the hall, or you hear stories about they can hear someone talking in a room all the time, but nobody's there. Same thing. So Melissa, my screen is green and a lot of static. Is that for everyone? So if somebody else can confirm, Melissa, that might be one of your weird things happening. Don't be alarmed, because green is actually a good color. It's the color of the highest vibration related to our heart chakra. So don't be worried. I'm just wondering if there's static for anyone else. If someone could just let me know whether or not I'm coming across clear, that would be great. Okay. No, it's good. Okay, thank you, Marty. Hi, by the way, long time no. You see me? No. Hi, Susan. Okay, good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So, Melissa, it's probably just you, but that's okay. So, hopefully you'll stick with us. Excellent. Thanks, guys. Okay, so tingling sensation. So we get, I call them, they're like goosebumps. I call them my right bumps. We get that tingling sensation, sometimes almost like a numbness in one or a part of our body is conducive. You might feel like you're being followed by someone. It's feeling their presence. The other thing is, and this is interesting because this happens and we don't always know what it is. So it can be sort of a joyous feeling, and all of a sudden there's just this change in vibration, and all of a sudden we become very relaxed. We become very gentle, lighthearted attitude. There's almost just like this shift. Hi Cabo, hi Wendy, welcome. Hi Jen, hi Sylvie. Oh my gosh, I should stop. We're catching up. Hi Bernie, hi Lisa, Tara, Jess, Mary Lynn, Mary Crystal Rose. Oh my gosh, welcome everybody. We just had a whole bunch join us, so thank you. So, yes, Melissa, your weird happenings. We'll talk about them. So, the other thing is with that joyous feeling, you feel a sudden increase in vibration, so your vibration goes up. And this happens to me if I'm working and I raise my vibration too high, too fast. I shouldn't say too high, I can only go so high, but too fast. So I almost get this like lightheadedness, and it almost feels like the room spinning, and if I was standing it'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna drop. And it only lasts for seconds, but long enough to make me feel uncomfortable. But it's just that vibration going up, so we can feel that when spirits around us too. Hi Diane, welcome. So there's different ways that the vibrational shift that can create that lightheadedness, that vibration, that happiness, because when our vibration goes up, we feel happier. But the other thing too that kind of falls in suit with that, which is kind of the second last thing, is this heightened awareness. So all of a sudden you become hypersensitive to sound and visual, and it's almost like you're almost looking through a really cool filter that just intensifies. This can also be from spirit energy, so be open to that. And what happens is your ability sort of feel like you've almost sort of stepped outside of yourself, and you kind of become an observer. So it's not like you're participating anymore, you're just sort of observing. And know that that's also spirit energy. So I wanted to share these things with you because a lot of these feelings, these sensations that we see and feel, we get uncomfortable. And these were all sort of the physical sensations that we can get. So it's not things that we see necessarily or hear or smell or taste, but it's those things that happen to our physical body, which we don't talk enough about. Personally, I don't think so. And when we do feel them in our physical body, it's really unique. So it becomes uncomfortable, and hence it becomes scary. The last thing I want to talk, and I sort of call it the uniqueness of someone that's passed, that you get this feeling in your body, and it's perhaps nothing like what I've talked about, but you know who it is, because the feeling you're having, that person gave you that same feeling when they were here. So don't second guess that, and just accept that sort of unique stamp as being grandma or being mom or dad or sibling or whatever. Just accept that it's that uniqueness. So good. Thank you. That's the talk. Let's get into, let's back up. So Melissa, let's talk first. So you have some weird happenings. So if you want to just post some details for me, and I'll have a look. Please remember, everybody, there's about a 30-second delay. I should actually time it. I don't know how long it is between when I ask you or say something and it comes up on my screen. So just be patient for it to come up. So Cheryl DeBarris, I think. Sorry. I moved to Nova Scotia to an 82-year-old family farm. How cool. So you're in Nova Scotia. The house feels full, solid, comforting, even though my own family lived in Ontario and I miss them. But okay, so that's awesome. So a couple of things. The house will hold a vibration of previous families. And actually, thank you for bringing this up because it's an important piece. Not only do, when we purchase houses, purchase secondhand cars, we're buying the energy of the previous owner. But if you're out doing garage salings or antiquing or whatever it's called these days, and you bring something into your home from another place, know that you're bringing in that energy. So if your home in Nova Scotia feels warm and comfortable and loving, that's the type of vibe that lived in that house, and it's still there. Plus, even though your own family's here in Ontario, anybody that's passed travels with you. They don't just stay here in Ontario because that's where they're from. So Cheryl, if you move out to Nova Scotia, but your grandmother, who you had a great relationship, who you love and miss dearly, passed away and is here in Ontario buried, know that she is still with you in spirit regardless of wherever you go. So likewise, we can buy a house, and well, you probably wouldn't buy a house. If you were house hunting and you walked into a house that had a really shitty vibe, oh, there it is. You wouldn't buy it because it's uncomfortable. And those shitty vibes come because of what happened. Perhaps the people in there argued a lot, or there was drug issues or mental health issues. And I mean like really extreme. So, depression brought in a low vibration. We pick up on that stuff. So, to me, it's a gift. If it feels warm, comfortable, and loving, that absolutely is a gift. Susan, could it feel like an anxious feeling? Yeah, absolutely. Because that anxiousness, it's almost that heightened awareness, right? Our vibration goes up, and we start to vibrate the anxiousness, and perhaps the room starts to spin, and you feel like you're going to fall, and all those things. Absolutely, anxiousness. So what I suggest is just take a couple of deep breaths and just feel the feeling, and just sort of ride it and see where it takes you. And ask who it is. Anytime you have any of these sensations, ask. And whoever comes to you, whoever you think it is, trust that it's them. Yes. So Sylvie, a perfume absolutely is something. Smelling perfume, the alcohol, cigarettes are some of the most common things that we smell. Aftershaves, a certain flower that makes us think of someone. But that's sort of an external thing. And what I was talking about tonight was sort of the actual physical sensations that we feel. Yeah? Okay, good. So Philippa, hi, welcome. Thanks for the hearts. Crystal, when am I in Nova Scotia? You know what? I was in Nova Scotia a few years back. I love it. I really do hope to travel a little bit and get to some of these places at some time in my life, without question. I am going to Costa Rica in a few weeks to do some work on potentially some retreats. So maybe you guys could come to me. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. So, okay, so Melissa, seeing apparition of alive people, dreaming of fire and waking up, fire alarms off, phone is still green and static while watching it. So you're seeing apparitions of alive people, dreaming of fire, and if wake up and the fire alarm goes on. Apparitions of people that are alive. I can't answer that. I'm not going to bullshit you. I don't know why you would see apparitions. So, unless it's in your dreams, I'm not sure. But if you're sitting here and you're seeing apparition of someone who's still alive, but you're seeing an apparition, that's unusual, and I can't say I've ever heard of that. Dreaming of fire and waking up and the fire alarm goes off, premonitions, that can happen. And the phone still being green and static while I'm watching you. Spirit plays with electronics, there's no question. My mom plays with my phone all the time. Not while I'm doing this, because she's not allowed to. But if I'm listening to something at nighttime or watching something, it's really not uncommon for her to play with my volume and it go up and down. What I do want to tell you, Melissa, is the fact that it's green. Green is good. It's the heart chakra, and it's also green is the highest vibration, which color, which would make sense because spirit's a high vibration. So I have to think about that one. I don't know why that would be happening unless I want to intuitively just keep track of who you see when you see them. And I mean, keep track, like write it down, and then start to take note of when you're actually seeing or connecting with them in real life and look for correlations. I'm thinking that perhaps that's Spirit's way of connecting you in advance with someone. So perhaps you're seeing an apparition of someone who's alive, and then you go ahead and call them, and maybe it's just their way of working with you. But again, I've said it a billion gazillion times, I don't believe there's anything to fear in any case other than our own uncomfortableness and confusion. But we'll figure it out. We always do figure it out. So you're welcome, Cheryl. Thank you. Hi, Melissa. Say hi to Melissa, everybody. Melissa's my administration department. So, okay, so Susan, I actually start to smell tobacco smoke when I open my window in my bedroom. I just thought it was crazy. It would be my brother who smoked. Yeah, so that's his way of being present. So how many of you, and I was going to say put your hands up, but you can put your hand up. I just won't see it, but we'll pretend. But I know myself lately, I catch a very faint whiff of cigarette smoke, and my husband actually smelled it a couple of weeks back, and that's my grandma. I don't know, or my aunt Noni. I'm not sure who it is. They're sisters, so it could be both or either or. But to me, it's a thank you. And based on everything that's going on with me and work and my life and stuff, I could use both their support right now. So that's a good thing. You're welcome, Sylvie. Thank you. Phone calls of my dad, and he has passed. So okay. Melissa, I'm a little perplexed, and it's kind of hard for me to understand. So you're getting phone calls from your dad, or if people are calling you about your dad and he's passed. I did have a client who had a text message come through on her phone months after a loved one had passed. So they had sent it and it never went through. Could be. Sylvie said, hi, Melissa. Tara, hubby and I are constantly waking up between 1 and 3 a.m. no matter what time we go to bed. Any messages? That is your message. So between 1 and 3, it's usually closer to 3 a.m. in the morning is when energy and the vibration is the most quiet, most subdued, and that's the easiest time for spirit to come in and connect with us. So what I would suggest, Tara, the message, for me, do you have a cat? I don't know why that's coming random. Pay attention also to your cat's behavior. There's someone's passed and they're showing me a cat. I'm thinking, Tara, I hope this has to do with you. But they're coming in at 3 a.m. and spirit connects with us at that time. So our energy here is just the quietest, so it's the easiest for them to sort of come into our world, to drop their vibration into our world and not have to sort of fight. Okay. Melissa. Oh, hi, Melissa. Okay, so his phone number called, okay, twice, but no answer. Okay, Dad called, but he passed. I answered the phone twice, but there was no one there, and you called the number back, and the phone was disconnected. That's your dad. Dads can do stuff like that. Spirit can do stuff. think of your phones. Phones are electronics, even landlines, they can manipulate that. There's I don't know if it's YouTube. I remember watching something years ago, and I think it was on YouTube, and it was actual recorded phone calls that all were from people that had passed, and actual conversations, and it appeared to be intellectual conversations. So say something, respond, type of conversations. I think it's on YouTube. Check it out. Listen, there is nothing. We are so hung up on our real world that we don't realize our real world really isn't the real world. So nothing is shocking or surprising to me, that they can manipulate. And to me, Melissa, something like manipulating a phone, I'm going to tell you, it takes so much energy on your dad's part. It's a testament of how hard he's trying to connect with you and love you and show you that he's with you. Is there a big message? To me, the message is he's there, and there's nothing more or less. I don't. The message from spirits in our everyday life, but is there a specific message? I would say it's to let you know that he's present with you, and most likely because you need him right now. So he's letting you know he's there. It's a gift, and thank him. End of that. So, Susan, oh, it would freak you out. Yeah, I guess it would be kind of freaky. Mary Lynn, can I see anything for you? Mary Lynn, the intention is not to do readings tonight. This is sort of a Q&A, and I share some insight with you. I work as a medium, and I don't feel Facebook is the proper forum for respect for you or for the ones that have passed. So, sometimes stuff comes up. If it comes up, I'll share it. But Philippe, yeah, excellent. So 444-555, that's my numbers. I see those all the time. So what those are, 444 and 555, is the vibration of two things. It's known that the angels, so spirit, our loved ones, are working with us, and just be patient as you go forward and know that you're on the right track. So if you numerology. Hi, Barbara. Do I think spirit brings people together on chance meetings when you haven't seen a person for years, or a conversation develops of a person and a conversation develops of a person that has passed? So I think we create our own synchronicities. I don't think spirit intentionally, but it can absolutely, in a conversation for sure. It can happen. I don't see why not. And, to ask why or what's the intention, don't know. Depends on the person you're talking to, depends on the person that passed in the situation. But do I believe that spirit can bring people together? Without question. Without question. And it makes sense that, I bumped into you. We talked about my mom who had passed. It makes sense that that's something we had in common. So we would end up talking about her. I don't know if that's always the case, but for sure the spirit can bring people together. Marguerite, for the past couple of weeks, no one cat has been driving me bananas. Oh, meowing. Oh, okay, so maybe this is the cat I'm picking up. For the past couple of weeks, my one cat has been driving me bananas, meowing consistently in the middle of the night. So he's probably picking up vibrational energy. So animals are very sensitive to spirit. So what you can do, and I just feel sort of intuitively for you, just go outside to find a cedar tree. Just take some small clippings from the cedar tree, always giving gratitude and thanks, and bringing it into your home. If there's a certain area that the cat hangs out at night and is doing the whining and crying, for example, a hallway, a certain room, place some cedar in the four corners, just a little smidgen in each corner, and this will help clear any energy that may be stagnant or causing your cat to feel uncomfortable at nighttime. So, Jess, we came, sorry, your white words are disappearing across my white chest here. We came down to visit my grandmother, and she passed away this past Sunday. My condolence. When I saw your life pop up, I had a huge urge to sign in and watch. Is that a hint of something? Yeah. I mean, your grandmother is in spirit. I am a medium. And tonight, oh, thank you. So tonight, we talked about physical sensations of feeling spirit. So not smells or seeing things, but actual physical reactions that we have when spirit is present. So if you haven't, perhaps listen to the whole video and listen to the beginning part. That may be her way of communicating with you how she makes herself known to you, or anything else that I've said tonight or may touch on tonight is something that she wants to know. So there are no coincidences. And if you think it's a sign, altogether, it's a sign. Yeah, okay. You're welcome, Mary Lynn. Lots of 11s, Marianne, so everybody's going to see 11s this year. 2020, like, I know you've all heard, like, why it's so awesome, but it is awesome. Like, I don't know if you felt the shift in the vibe and, you know, things in your own life have started to sort of fall away, and we're having these huge, I know just in my own life and friends and stuff, like things are shifting and happening, and it's stuff that should be upsetting and devastating, and we should be so worried about it, and yet we're like, whatever, because it's supposed to happen, and our soul spirit knows that. So, and it's like going with the flow. So seeing 11 is the first of the master numbers. So it is our connection to spirit, it's affirmation, it's knowing you're on the right path, it's knowing that spirit's with you, all those very positive things. So what I always suggest to people, when you see numbers, excuse me, whether they're 11s or 4s, 5s, whatever, pay attention to what you're doing at that moment, what you're thinking at that moment when that number comes, and then just go to numerology online, just Google and look up what that number means. Yeah, maybe I should do a Facebook about numerology, some number stuff. We'll do some number stuff one time. Maybe I'll do a blog first. So sign up for my blog, and then we can add to it on Facebook Live if you haven't. So I'll make sure that the link's on here for you. So, good evening, Karen. Do you know if there's any special meaning behind the number 23? It's in our family and everywhere. Birthdays, anniversaries. Well, two is about balance. It's about making decisions and bringing balance into your life. And 3 is sort of the holy number kind of thing we call it. So it's Father, Son. What is it? I forget the Bible thing. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. 3 is a very angelic number and balance. So I would suggest your family is very blessed, to say the least. Yeah, what you can do it for more details, because I'm kind of crash coursing you here. If you type in anyone, go to Google, type in angel number, and then the number you want to know. So angel number 23, and there's a website called Sacred Scribe or Sacred Scribe Angel.com. She's excellent in her explanation of numerology. That's the website I trust the most. So especially if you're dealing with funky numbers like 247, and taking and putting the vibes of all of those numbers together. So Margarita, you're gonna sprinkle cedar everywhere. You're welcome. Okay. It's a great smell. Why not? So Joanne, thanks for joining us. My best friend passed November 26th. I'm sorry to hear that. Month later, I'm going to say, not lady, my granddaughter, who is 6, came into my room and talked to me. She was looking beside me, and she smiled and said, Nana, Paul is standing right beside you, and she left. see more. Yeah, I love it. So children, and at 6 years old, that's awesome. And you actually, we're going to start seeing more of this, but children definitely up to the age of 2 or 3 connect with spirit like that because they've just come into this world, so they're sort of still connected to the other side. But the children that are being born, so 6 years old, our younger children now are coming in as crystal children, and she'll probably be connected her whole life is the hope. It's her generation that's really going to make the shift in the world. We're going to shake it up, and they're going to set it straight. So it's not unusual for a child to walk in and see someone and know that it's real. She knows Paul is standing there. So it says see more, but I'm clicking and nothing more comes up, so I'm sorry. But yeah, trust that. That's awesome. What a gift for you to know that Paul's with you and that he presented himself in such a manner that, one, she saw him, and two, your granddaughter was not afraid. So kudos on your family for being open to this. So hi Rose, hi Denise, hi Valerie, thank you. Brenda, Kristen, wonderful. Sylvie, wonderful. Holy Spirit, that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so if you have anything else, please just feel free to note them. I just want to check how we're doing on time. So, we're almost at time. Oh my God, it goes so fast. It's insane. So just a friendly reminder, please resubscribe to my newsletter, or my blog, I should say, is more appropriate, to keep up to date and with my writing. So, like this, what we talked about tonight, and then we always go into sort of more in detail. And the other thing is, please check out Divine Energy Membership on my website. It's designed, it's very affordable. I mean, it's $10, $9.99 a month, or $24.99 a month. And what you get is a lot for that price. Everywhere from numerology to energy work to full moons to new moons to monthly meditation. There's interviews. This past month I interviewed Don James and we talked about vibrational energy in a 3-part series. Next month, Dean Oblet, who's my Reiki master who trained me, my sensei, is going to be talking about manifestation. We're going to be working on dreams in March. I have a whole bunch of stuff lined up. And the goal of Divine Energy is to help you live a more spiritual life. It's taking that knowledge and changing it into wisdom. But it's also to help you, your intuition, to help you trust in your own life and get you to where you're supposed to be in your own heart. So I hope you really consider that. The nice thing is if you join now, you get all of January's, you'll get all of February's, and as the months go on, you have access to all the previous months. So it's a good deal. You can't go wrong for $10, $25, depending on what you choose. So please look into that. I'd appreciate it. So, and so I'm just going to take one more then. So, Marianne, can you talk about the use of salt in the house as a cleansing agent? Not cleaning supply. Who cleans? I just cleanse. I don't clean. Yeah, salt, but it has to be real salt. So iodized table salt doesn't cut it. Get the pink Himalayan salt. Get proper sea salt. I believe the dollar store used to carry sea salt that has not been processed and treated. You can use that, so you can put it out in a bowl. In the different rooms. It's also really good for cleansing and clearing crystals. So if you work with crystals at all, or a pendulum, you put that in the bowl of salt and you just leave it overnight. So yeah, for sure, it's one of the, I could write about that too. I should talk about cleansing. Oh my God, there's so much I could write and talk about. We could do this like every day, but I can't. I have people to see. So, I think that's it. Oh, so, thank you everybody who watched tonight and, with that, we'll say good night and thank you. So, who was with me at the top of the night and who's still with me knew that I have a giveaway. So I'll show you because it's the last one. And I forgot I had this. So it's a bracelet, and I hope you can see, with a little silver feather. You're welcome, Susan. Thank you. So I'm giving this away tonight. So here's the question. So get ready to type in the answer. So I talked about tonight the different ways we physically feel energy. And I told you, when I get really hot and my temperature goes up and I get sweaty, what am I feeling? Waiting. See, there's that delay. So the first person that can comment, what is it I feel? What is it being communicated to me when I start to sweat and heat? And you're welcome, Lisa. You're welcome, Tara, Amanda, Susan. Thank you all for watching. And I'm just waiting. Anger, Cheryl! Booyah! We have a winner. Congratulations, Cheryl. So, excellent, Cheryl. So, this is really, really quite pretty. Thank you, guys, for watching. Lisa, yes, spirit, but specifically anger. So, it was what I was looking for. So, the first one to come out with anger on my screen was Cheryl De Barras. I know I'm probably butchering your name. I'm so sorry. But congratulations, you're our winner. So if you can private message, you'll actually be connecting with Melissa, my beautiful assistant who's joining us tonight. And she's my administrative department. And if you can get your address to her, and I'll drop this in a mail to you. The last thing I wanted tonight, I felt inspired to pull us a angel card as we close out tonight. Oh, that's another thing. On the Divine Energy membership. And okay, so for $10 a month, you get a weekly card reading. That's worth $10 right there. Never mind the meditation and the numerology. And that's just a $10 plan. Okay? $25, you get lots more. Plus, you get to send me your questions, and I answer them intuitively. So if you want to know about something, you want a little reading, best way to do it. So we're going to shuffle cards, and I'm just going to ask Spirit to kindly drop. See how fast they work. So our message tonight, hopefully you can see that. Okay, the lovely lady on the swing. 9 of Abundance. This is such a nice card. So life is wonderful. Your hard work, your dedication to your dreams will provide you with great peace and contentment. Take time to enjoy quiet moments of reflection and leisure. Feel free to buy yourself a small, luxurious gift. Diamonds, they're small. You've earned the financial security and independence you now enjoy. So, there you go. So, it's enjoy life, embrace life. And although it speaks of financial independence and sort of that abundance, know that not everything is about money. And we have that sometimes independence in other ways. So, with that, my loves, good night. And you're welcome, Cheryl. And good night, everyone. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye for now.